What's up? It is Monday, so it's time for another edition of 3-Point Stands presented by Mountain Dew. And like always, it's us, and we got a lot to talk about. You guys already know. Let's start with our team. Roser, the Memphis Grizzlies, Game 3, they lose to the Golden State Warriors, 142-112. But the conversation is centered around Ja Morant and that play, as Coach Jenkins said, triggered his right knee injury to why he is doubtful for Game 4 to game. Roser, when you first looked at that replay, because at that point it was really just the replay because no one saw it in real time, but the replay in itself, your first initial reaction to see Jordan Poole on Ja Morant's knee?
I don't think he was trying to hurt Ja. I don't think it was anything like that. I think it's one of those, like, when you really are trying to hurt somebody, like, I think that's something you would be able to see within the flow of the game, happening if you're really intentionally trying to do something bad. I don't think Jordan Poole was trying to do anything bad. Just like I don't think Dillon Brooks was trying to seriously injure Gary Payton II. But fans of both sides have taken it that way. I think Steve Kerr's grandstanding has not helped at all. He's pretty full of crap. And this is my favorite tweet yesterday was someone saying, "I now totally understand why Michael Jordan punched Steve Kerr when they played together."
Oh, gosh.
Which I thought was pretty funny. I don't really care for Steve Kerr's grandstanding at all. Really, any of his grandstanding that he has ever done for the last 7 years. I don't care for any of it. He's pretty full of crap to me. But the play itself, I don't think Jordan Poole was trying to injure Ja Morant. I don't believe that.
Yeah, I don't think I agree with you. I don't think the intent was there. I don't think he was intentionally trying to injure Ja Morant. When you see the actual replay, though, it's a messed up play. That's all I can say. It's one of those things I would see. If it was seen in real time, I believe it could have been considered a flagrant one, definitely a foul call if it was seen in real time. And I think it's like when you look at it in that stance, then that's where the conversation I think should be had. But as you mentioned, because of how this series has played out and because of the storylines with happening in Game 1 and Game 2, the word dirty and the word code is going to be brought up because of what happened after Game 2 with Dillon Brooks and then you had Game 1 with Draymond Green. That's been the storyline that has been centered around this. So this doesn't help the case of us trying to get away from that conversation or that narrative, as Coach Jenkins said. I just hate seeing Ja Morant get hurt and injured. Yeah. If that's the play that triggered it, we have to go off of what Ja Morant, Coach Jenkins, or what Jenkins is saying that he has been told through the medical staff and through Ja Morant. That's the play that triggered that injury. It's a knee that he's had problems with before. I hate seeing it because we know how valuable Ja Morant is to this team and what is playoff basketball and what he has done in this series so far. And with him being doubtful, I do think that it's concerning. It's just concerning when it comes to this game and also potentially moving forward in the series.
Agree. I mean, it 100% is. If he can't play tonight, or if he's hobbled, I mean, look, you don't want to go down 3-1. I thought the Grizzlies would get one of these too, but you see Desmond Bane's not 100%, and if Ja's not 100%, I mean, you're just up against it. Like, you just are. Like, it's. Then if the Warriors are going to shoot 70% from the field, it doesn't matter. So. Look, you hope Ja's as close to 100% as he can. You hope Dillon does make a big impact defensively because the Grizzlies were playing just matador defense. I mean, it was everybody get to the lane whenever they wanted to the other night. So you hope Dillon affects that. Obviously, the crowd's going to be all over him. But yeah, it's unfortunate. And if Ja and Des are not 100%, you're just flat out up against it. If Ja and Desmond are not 100%, you're not going to beat Golden State. You're not. If both of those guys are not 100%, if both of them are hobbled, you're not beating Golden State.
Yeah, and I will also throw out there, if you're not going to play your style of basketball, it's, and I know that the injuries affected, but if you're not going to stick to what has gotten you thus far, and, when you see a game with the Warriors are going to shoot like they did do, you're not going to outshoot this team when it comes to that 3-point line. Can you get back inside the paint? Can you get back to getting those offensive rebounds? It'll be intriguing to see what Coach Jenkins does with Steven Adams for Game 4, if he gets some more playing time. How does he match up with these guys? And also now, if you are going to have to play without Ja Morant, we know this team has been successful in the regular season. They're 20-5 without Ja Morant. However, this is playoff basketball, and this is the Golden State Warriors. Very, very different. It'll be interesting to kind of see how this team can bounce back. This team calls themselves the Road Warriors. It's going to be a hostile environment. we thought the last couple games have been hostile, this one's going to be even more hostile.
Oh, yeah.
So can you be that Road Warriors teams, get to your brand of basketball, and like you have to kind of like just take out all the outside noise, and that's going to be a hard place to do in Chase Center, and especially when you had to add all these storylines on top of it. Another topic I want to talk about, when we talk about storylines and storylines that we just do not like hearing about, is when it comes to fan and families. We got this, we heard about this after Dallas Mavericks even the series against the Phoenix Suns, with Chris Paul tweeting out saying that, hey, if the players are getting fined for what they say, how about the fans? We got ESPN's reporting that Chris Paul's mom and his wife, a fan put hands on them when they were assaulted. His wife was pushed. His mom had someone put their hands on them. Roser, I mean, the last couple of seasons, we've had to tell fans what you can and cannot say to people, what you can and cannot throw. Now we're saying, do not put your hands on anybody in general in basketball, a family member.
Yeah, look, I'd like to see video of the altercation if there is video. All I've seen is kind of the aftermath of the fan being, escorted out with what appears to be his mom. Because that's what's more alarming to me.
It looked like a kid. It looks like a teenager-ish. Yeah.
That's more alarming to me. It was not an adult. It was a teenager who looks like he was with his mom. And so like my two questions, my two things would be, okay, if it's true, I don't care how assaulted. Like, you could go a million different ways with the varying degrees of assault in this, but a teenage kid has no business putting their hands, whether it's grabbing by the shoulder, whether it's a little forearm, whatever, has no business doing that to another adult. None. And so my more question is about the parent. Why does your kid think he can do that? What are you doing as a parent to where your teenage kid thinks he can do that? That's what's alarming to me. I'm sitting here like, where's the mom? Where's the dad? Right. Like, if my kid put his hand on another adult, one, I'd probably tell the adult, whoop his ass. Beat the hell out of him if you want to. But like, that's totally unacceptable to be doing something like that. That's where, and the fan and his mom should be banned. If it's true, if he put his hands on her, whether it's a grab of an arm, a push, just a grab of the shoulder, anything like that, fan's banned from NBA arenas for life.
It looked like something definitely happened, because Chris Paul was able to know that it was happening from the bench, from where he was, and it looked like his family was sitting directly behind the bench. And also the scary thing that we have to know is that his two kids were there. Yeah. And so the report is that his wife told ESPN is that she got pushed with her two kids watching. I don't know what happened in that, but all I know is that it's wrong. It's disgusting to hear about. It's awful to hear that someone's child also witnessed that as well. And then also that this could have been like a teenager-ish like fan that was also a part of it. And Dallas Mavericks have already come out with their statement saying that they're looking into the matter. This does not represent the environment that they want fans or even players, opponents' families to have. And so, I mean, I just think it's just like, I know playoff basketball. Last season, we had a lot of playoff basketball stuff. This season, it's like playoff basketball is intense, but this also takes away from what we just saw. Dallas Mavericks, now you even the series, but now we're all talking about, we can't talk about the team that you were cheering for, because now we're talking about you and the lack of, making the right call, doing the right thing there. Now we're talking about that. But I just hope that his mom and his wife are okay. And I hope that if, we know that it's going to get to a game 5, if it has to go back to Dallas, that we hope that they don't have this experience again. No one has this experience, no matter in what series. Okay, let's talk about the other series though, because now you look at
we got like less than a minute. Let's do it.
Okay, when you look at the Sixers, Heat even up 2-2. Dallas Mavericks, who has the best comeback? Because everyone had written off the Sixers and Dallas. We thought it could be.
I think the Sixers is the bigger comeback to me.
Okay.
I'm not surprised with Luka. But the Sixers, I did not see this coming at all. But I guess I should, because one thing I've always said is, like, when you have the best player on the court, you give yourself a chance. And Joel Embiid is the best player in that series. If we're ranking players in the series, we're ranking Joel Embiid number 1.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the Sixers is the biggest comeback, but Joel Embiid has that presence that I think a lot of us didn't realize, like the presence that he did have. And James Harden can play like that. He played in game 3, in game 4.
That's not going to last, but whatever.
Oh, there we go.